Hey there, Josh with Cullen Cosplay. I'm going to try to go over a real quick little show of hills and valleys, which people are seeing the indentations on the foam. I just did an apple seed and the straps was all one piece. That's what these are. This is all one piece, and basically it's just your hills and valleys in the foam, which the pet program, hopefully you've been on my Facebook and you've seen some of the templates that JF Custom has done. I'm putting the link in the thread, so please hit that show more button, because everything I do I share. That way it's really simple, you guys. Just with practice everybody can do this stuff. But anyways, with the hills and valleys, basically the effect you're trying to achieve is this if you want to do it on the edge of your foam. And that's the most comments that I got off the actual straps that I did off of the Appleseed character, was one piece. So I had one piece of strapping and this was all layered. Looked really cool. Like I said, hop on the Facebook if you haven't seen it yet and check it out. But the effects that you can do with it is that centerpiece right there. So it's kind of endless, and this is another type. It's just a staggered step down, and I usually do that if I have to make additional pieces. I mean, you can make whatever you want out of this. If you do gauntlets and you do this type of effect along the trim, you can have one piece and make it different layers, multiple layers, put like an eye in there. You can do a lot of stuff with the technique. But the basis that it came down to, the only reason I knew how to do it is because if you get on JF Custom's phone thread, that entire list, he gets step by step. Everything that he does, he also shares, which is just me kind of translating for him. But hills and valleys is what you want to look at in foam. So these are going to be your hills. These are going to be your valleys, and what that means is that way, that way. And for your cuts, which means your hills, you're going to create this V shape. For your valleys, you're just going to cut into the foam. Now you don't cut all the way through the foam, because what we do is you glue it for the hill, and then you open it, glue it, let the glue dry, and then it won't close it. And what you're going to get is that shape. So all of a sudden you flip that piece over and you get this really cool design and shape. So that's what I'm going to show you real quick. So on the bottom of this, that's what that is. So that valley cut has all that glue dried in there so it won't sink back in. The hill, you cut that V, fold it in, hold the glue, and it keeps the shape. So try to show you some real quick cuts on it, and that way you can see the trim work. Please get on my Facebook if you have any questions. That way it's just more instant if you want to hit something up with it. And please, JF Custom's phone thread is on the link below, so that way you have all the knowledge that I have. Okay, so on the Appleseed costume, that's the kind of cut I'm going to show you, since that was kind of the most popular. That's also the same cut that does the indentation for the Predator disc. But on your templates, like I said, it's actually going to have the dashes for you. So, of course, I don't have them because I'm just doing them, but the templates are going to have it on there. So what you want to do is those templates, you want to flip them over and trace that design on the back side. So you just punch out where you go. So if it has the dotted lines, just put your pen through it so you mark it, and then draw your line so you know where you're cutting because of your templates. And then right next to it is going to be that dash, dot, dash line, which is going to be your valley cut. And so do the same thing, put your template on it, punch a hole through it so that way you know where it marks, and then just trace along it. And then what that's going to do is that's going to give you your cut marks so you know where you're going with your cuts. If you're freehanding this, at least you know that that first cut is going to be a valley, that second cut is going to be a straight line because it's going to push it out. Okay, so for the first cuts and this is what I do, you can do whatever you like. First cut I always work on the actual hill, and what I do is the first cut is going to be straight down, just kind of like what I'm doing with the valley. So it's going to be straight and not at that total V shape like you would do a normal hill. And that's just because you have right next to it, you have that cut that you're going to have to make anyways. So that first cut was just straight, and then now I'm going to do the V, so it's going to be more of like a half V that you do it. And you're going to push it in, but you aren't going to go all the way through the foam. And you're just going to run right along that same trim to make sure it's going to give you that little crevice for your glue. Could have been a little more graceful, but this is natural. I think every spot in my house has a piece of foam somewhere. So there's the valley. That one's straight, this one cuts in, and now when that folds over, there's going to be your hill created for it. And what I usually do is I like to glue these either one or the other first before you do the actual cut for the next one, for the fact that when you squeeze it, the glue may come out depending on how deep you go in with it. But this one, since it's going to be your valley, it's just a straight up and down cut. And what that's going to do is that's going to open that up, and then it'll make your ledge. So I'll do the glue on the hill first. You put it in, just hold it. And this is the part that does take a while. That's why it kind of surprises. I just use regular multi-temp glue sticks. So when I see people say that they finished a helmet like in 15 minutes, it takes longer for my glue to dry than it does for me to make stuff most of the time. Alright, so there's our hill that we have that's now staying. So the next thing you want to do is actually put glue in that valley cut that you had. And all you do is open it up, put the glue in, and then just let it dry. I went ahead and, of course, added on to my line. It's not straight and perfect because I'm just trying to show you how to do it, but there, hills and valleys, alright? And there's your outcome. So you get this nice trim work. And stuff that I like to do with foam, when I first started doing foam, I had a person tell me, well, you got to get rid of all these and everything else, but they don't tell you how sometimes. I always use the Dremel, and I did find a really cheap one. I guess you can find them on sale at a lot of places, but it's a Dremel 7300. If you're going to use it for foam and only foam, say if you do the edges and join them together, or if you use that tip right there, you hear the sound? That's high, that's low. But this is perfect for what I need it for foam. And it's just because I can do the trim work, and I can also do that, and I could take this on the road and it's battery charged. It's supposed to last 3 hours. I haven't tested it fully out yet, but I'll show you what the trim work looks like real quick. And all of a sudden you have a very soft edge. So when you paint that, it looks real. It looks like it's supposed to. It gives you that effect that you're going for. So I definitely suggest if you're going to be cutting stuff out with foam, this was 24 bucks every day at Walmart. One guy said he picked it up for $8. But pick up a Dremel, pick up a rotary tool, something you could actually do to use your trim work on it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I'll get some more stuff going. In the middle of this one, of course, I had a 3-year-old come down and tell me how to go to the bathroom, which it's 11:30 at night. So that's what I get to deal with every night. So I apologize for the lack of videos on me. Keep comments coming. Let me know what I can do to help. Some of this stuff's really boring. Go over the death stroke videos because you can use that for every type of template that's on JF. If you get stuck, post on the RPF on that thread. There's a bunch of people that help each other out. They show examples, and I think it's up to like 81 pages or something like that. So use the little search tool up there, because whatever you're about to ask, I'm sure somebody has answered or gave a bunch of suggestions for. So keep building, keep it up, and hopefully this is helping.